Well, we know what the college football playoff is going to look like for 2026 season. Apologize for looking out because I cannot memorize all this stuff. It's going to stay at 12. Let's just be real. This is according to Pete Thamel for ESPN. Obviously, there was some stalemate that happened between the SEC and Big Ten. Like Greg Sankey, the SEC commissioner, supported a 16-team model, while Tony Petitti from the Big Ten supported a 2014 model. After 3 years, he would agree with Sankey if Sankey was committed to 24 teams. And multiple sources have said that's not something Sankey was ready to do at this time. And obviously, there was a significant support for a 16-team field, but staying at 12 was expected. Let's just be real. There hasn't been any pushback, and there's going to be a formal announcement later about this, so just a heads up there. I mean, it's only the third year going to happen. Will be only the third year of the 12-team college football playoff. And the Big Ten is also interested in seeing how the selection committee will evaluate teams this year after the ACC and SEC move to 9 conference games. There's an expectation that will be more 2 or 3 loss teams for the group to consider. Like in March 2024, the CFP and ESPN agreed to a 6-year, $7.8 billion contract that ensures the network will remain the sole media rights holder of the event through the 2031 and 2032 season. During those contract negotiations, the 10 FBS conferences and Notre Dame athletic director signed a memorandum of understanding that gave Big Ten and SEC the bulk of the control of the playoffs' future format. The contract was built for either a 12 or 14 team field, but momentum for a 16 had increased in recent months. As the sole media rights holder, ESPN imposed a deadline of December 1 of last year, just 2025, for the CFP to determine its format, but sources have said the SEC asked for an extension, which was granted until January 23rd. Like the CFP executive director Rich Clark said, there will be a December 1st deadline every year to inform ESPN of any format changes. While the number of teams in the field will remain the same this fall, there will be some adjustments to how some are included. This season, the Power 4 conference champions will be guaranteed spots in the 12-team field, along with the highest-ranked conference champion from the group of 6, which now includes the new-look Pac-12. Notre Dame will also be a lock for the playoffs if it finishes in the selection committee's top 12. Had those rules existed this season, both ACC champion Duke and Notre Dame would have qualified for the playoffs, and number 10 seed Miami, Florida, which played for the national title this past year, as we all know, would have been excluded. There's a lot to digest in here, but we knew it was going to stay at 12. Unless some craziness happened, I didn't see them changing the format, honestly, because of the stalemate situation. I do think there needs to be more adjustments, though. The biggest adjustment, I would say, start the playoff games earlier. Seriously, do you really want to punish those top 4 seeds for playing it to play on December 31st or January 1? And that's a long time without playing games. From either conference championship game, which that was the majority. I mean, that was all of them. But what if, for example, Oregon was a top 4 seed instead of a 5 seed? They would have gone from the last week in November till December 31st or January 1 to play a CFP game. Yeah. That's way too long. And the top 4 seeds in a 12-team college football playoff is not that good. 1-7 in the first game. I know Indiana won the whole thing, but I'm just talking about the first game here. But obviously, you cannot deny there's a long time between playing games can really play a factor, though it's not like an entirely in the big excuse in all this. I'll just go over like last year's. Like, first of all, the 1 seed Oregon ran into Ohio State that went on to win the national championship that year. Let's just be real. Georgia had a quarterback issue. They lost their starting quarterback for the year, and they ran into Notre Dame. Obviously, Boise State, even though I know the Boise State athletic director, Jeremiah Dickey, they were not like top 3 good. Yeah, they're good. They were really good, but not top 3. And Arizona State ran into Texas, and they almost won that game without the best wide receiver, Jordan Tyson. Just imagine if he would have played, that would have helped. Potentially. So you get the point on that year. Now, this past year, obviously Indiana had no issues. They dominated Alabama. Ohio State got bullied in the trenches against Miami, Florida. And Miami, Florida took it to them early. And Ohio State could not recover. Obviously, having a rematch with somebody that you barely beat at home is not ideal for like Georgia against Ole Miss. And that was just an instant classic game. And obviously, the only other game I need to mention here is Texas Tech got nothing. They did everything they could to stay in that game against Oregon defensively. But the offense for Texas Tech couldn't do anything. They were held to 0. And that was essentially like a 16-0 game. Let's call it the way it is. If you want to include that garbage time touchdown, it's 23-0. So you get the whole point in all this. It's not like a great thing for those top 4 seeds to have a long time before not playing a game again. It's not. And there's nothing you can do about the academic calendar. There's nothing you can do. And you can't move the transporter window more, or because of the academic calendar, like I said. And I know it's going to adjust for those teams who made the national title game. I get it. But honestly, if you start the playoff game sooner, the whole entire season would finish sooner. That way it gives more time. Have the national title game finish earlier, like January 1 or January 7th or 8th or 10th. Something closer to that would really help the sport, honestly. So that's just my thoughts. And maybe you should start the regular season up earlier too. And I thought it was not going to happen for this year. But maybe next year or the year after or the year after that. You get the whole point. I think if you start the regular season earlier, you can finish the whole entire season earlier. That's just my thoughts and all this. So anyways, if you like this content, hit the like, subscribe, and see you guys later on the road. 800 subscribers, ultimate goal, 1,000 more. Some of my Discourse like video, comment video really helps YouTube background. Some more people see it. Sharing the video does help as well. Some more people can watch. And if you watch it and not subscribe, hit subscribe, watch the notification bell as well.